Hi everyone, in this video we will be talking about one of the multi-tenancy capabilities in FortiSOAR, namely the distributed model where you have a central FortiSOAR instance running in the central SOC, for example a service provider's SOC environment, and a remote tenant FortiSOAR instance like a customer environment. Here we have a scenario where you work for a mid-enterprise. The mid-enterprise has a small security team and might have less than 5 SOC analysts. The resources are limited and the team can't monitor the environment 24/7, right? So something your team came up with is to utilize a security service provider to help augment your SOC environment. Using FortiSOAR, the service provider can help create playbooks to automate tier 1 alert processes like ingesting alerts, escalating alerts, generating reports, and basic threat assessments. Your team can then take over or collaborate and focus on providing rapid responses to incidents, crisis management, threat hunting, and improving the overall security posture of your SOC infrastructure. Now, your team chose a security service provider with FortiSOAR due to its ability to have capabilities like powerful customization, flexible multi-tenancy models, quick rapid response platform, and more. Your team is deploying FortiSOAR in a distributed model to have granular control of what data to send to the security service provider. And you can see this in the diagram shown here with customer C. Alternatively, the customer can choose to have a security service provider fully manage their SOC alerts and incidents through shared tenancy, and you can see that with customer A, or dedicated tenancy for customers with performance requirements seen in customer B. So now let's take a look at FortiSOAR in action. And seen on the screen here, we have 2 FortiSOAR instances running in our demo environment. This tab with the black background represents the central FortiSOAR instance controlled by the security service provider. Now, this tab here with the white background represents customer C in the diagram shown previously and represents the customer environment. The customer security team would aggregate logs and events into a single location and using a SIEM solution like FortiSIEM or some other third-party SIEM product. And then FortiSOAR would ingest those alerts. Initially, when you first log into FortiSOAR, you have dashboards that come out of the box and ready to use. You can use these dashboards to create custom ones that's relevant to your responsibilities. Here, we have the executive view that an executive might find useful. Things like total alerts resolved, ROI, and how that's measured can be configured by you. Now, the first thing you would need to do is ingest alerts, and to do that, you would need to connect to various sources like a SIEM. And if we quickly go into the connector page, you can think of this like a marketplace. FortiSOAR supports over 350 different vendors and different solutions. And this list is constantly growing. And if you wanted custom support, we also support custom integrations for those that aren't in our marketplace. Now, once connected, your team can then ingest the alerts and replicate them to the service provider. If we quickly go into settings, we can confirm that the team has already established a secure connection with the central FortiSOAR located in the security service provider's environment. Once the connection is established, your team is able to choose what data to send over as granularly as at the field level. Now that everything is set up, let's go into an example alert and check it out. Now, this alert shows that there has been potentially malware infected in multiple hosts. Now, scrolling through record, we can see the basic details of the alert, like the SLA details, whether the alert has been escalated or not, or whether it's been assigned to someone. And there's also different indicators and records that's assigned to this alert. Now here, we see that the attack delivery was a malware disguised as a JPG file. The alerts module, which also can be customized, enables analysts to get a fuller picture of whether this is a low-level alert that can be automated, or is this something that requires more attention from someone in your team. Notice here that under the comment section that this alert was updated automatically by a playbook. This could have been automated using a playbook created by a security service provider, so tier 1 analysts aren't doing these steps manually. And note that the alert has also been escalated into an incident. So now, if we go into the incident module, note that there are also 21 incidents here. If we switch to the service provider's FortiSOAR, note that these incidents have also been replicated, and that there are also 21 incidents. If we click into one of the incident record, we get a case management view of how the incident is being handled and what stage it is at. The recommendation tab, using FortiSOAR's recommendation engine designed with machine learning, recommends records that analysts can choose to quickly correlate them to this specific incident. And if we look at the visual correlation graph, we see that there are 2 web servers affected. We also see the different vulnerabilities and indicators. Now, security service providers can monitor your environment when your team cannot, do the initial assessment of the incident, update the incident stage, and collaborate with the customer to investigate on the incident. For example, as a security provider's analyst, I can use the vulnerabilities detected through a SIEM solution, automate the threat lookup through a threat intelligence service like FortiGuard, and populate the findings in a separate module. Now, for demo purposes, we will just Google the vulnerability and populate it in the comment section of the incident. So if we pick one of the vulnerabilities, say 118.8.0.1, quickly Google it, we see that it's a Zoom client related. We can make a note of this in the comment section. Vulnerability 118.8.0.1, severity info, result, low risk, action recommended, patch endpoint, and then publish it to the customer side. And then going back into the customer view, once we publish the comment, we see that the comment made by the security service provider team is now populated in the customers section in the customer view. Once the customer sees this, they can look up the vulnerability perhaps in their vulnerabilities module, look up affected assets, patch them, and then update the incident record. Now, once the incident is resolved, the customer can close out that incident, and at the end of the day, perhaps the SOC manager can generate the report to review. That concludes the demo, and thank you for listening, and we hope to see you again.